Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Repo because why do you think that's true?
I think they intentionally do it because don't forget these police stations. Let's say there's a cop shop in the town where there's a HA charter. Immediately, they're getting money, federal money, state money, to enhance watching those individuals. They're getting overtime, and it's being paid for. They're going to get money that they don't actually have to spend.
Oh, if they label them a gang, right?
They label it, yep. And then they'll derive this task force and that force. And that's, we got to go out and we got to buy this $300,000 truck that we can stick this big nozzle on the front battering ram to smash people's walls and doors of their homes in while they're sleeping. We could probably get that for a few hundred with 14 rifles, armor-piercing rounds in case they're hiding inside of the house 2 rooms back behind the refrigerator. We're going to have to specially train our officers, so we need funding for that. And man, it's law enforcement just sucks that money up. It's like a guy happens to live in a town. Well, there comes money because everybody's going to watch him now. In some way, some shape, form, whether they paying a neighbor, hey, can we put this camera in your window so we can watch that house? Which that happened down in Philadelphia. There was a couple of neighbors across from the clubhouse, and the one next door was mic'd up, cameraed up, all looking at the house.
So it says right here that outlaw motorcycle gangs are criminal organizations that use motorcycle clubs as a front for their illegal activity. OMGs are known for their involvement in drug trafficking, violent crime, weapons trafficking, and they are often well organized and have sophisticated intelligence networks. It says OMGs can be a challenge for law enforcement because they are well organized and can quickly mobilize their members. Some notable groups are, they say, the Hells Angels, the Banditos, the Pagans, the Sons of Silence. So you think they label these motorcycle clubs gangs so that they can get more money?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, look at Sleepy Joe letting millions of immigrants illegally cross our border. And you got the Venezuelan gang, this gang, that gang. I just recently up in New York City. And my limo driver is driving around going, yeah, this is where those Venezuelan gangs hang out. And this is where this other gangs, immigrants hang out. And this is where they all, the ones that aren't in the hotels are out over here in these little tent cities. And I had one buddy, he went into a store up there in New York, and one of those immigrants, illegal immigrants, had walked out, and the receipt showed their government card where they were getting the money every month.
Yeah.
The dude had $23,000 on it of government money on this card. And he was arguing paying $6 for something he was buying. But you got 20-some thousand dollars of our money. Well, how come they're not labeling these gangs that have come in from other countries illegally across our borders? Why aren't they labeling them as dangerous criminal organizations?
They're going after our own people.
Right. But, when Sleepy Joe's got his ass out the door and my man Donald Trump is back in there, they're going to be held to pay. And, it's the sad part about this is that it happened, number one, that they were allowed and they're still allowed. Number two is that Biden allowed it. It allowed our country to be overrun. And you have a number of these groups that have come in that are terrorist backed. and they're out there. They're not in that immigrant foothold where the other ones are.
Because I
They're
think
literally,
immigration should be a thing. They should let
yeah,
people here.
right, absolutely. But we are all immigrants. You know, when you go back in time, we are actual immigrants to this country. Um, like my dad's mom and dad came over here into the island up in New York. They were immigrants, and they came in the legal way, and they
Yeah.
did this citizenship and busted their ass working every single day. The American dream. They lived it the right way. but
American Dream's dead, man. What do you think about the drones out in New Jersey?
oh well, like I talked to you. I'm gonna say it was 3 4 days back. We were down there near the shore in Jersey, and we had seen one flying overhead. It's I don't know what to make of it, but just every report that I see and read and look at, these are not like a drone you or I would go buy in a hobby shop for 500 800 bucks. That's not that kind of drone. These drones are coming out. I mean, some people, a lot of where they're sighting those. There's 3 active military bases, and a lot of other installations down there in New Jersey. There's Fort Dix, McGuire, Lakehurst. There's Earl Weapon. That's just a few, just in New Jersey. But if these things, from all reports, are too large to be a drone you or I would, it's we're talking like cartel size, not car, but cartel.
What do you mean
And
cartel size?
like, with the cartels, they fly them across the border and drop the weed or the fentanyl or
Someone
because a
said
lot.
that they're from Iran. Iran has a mothership in the ocean, and they're
Yeah,
releasing
they
all
told me
these
that
drones.
today. I'm like, what? There
It
was a
seems,
guy on there. We know
yeah,
these are not the Pentagon press woman. We know these are not from the mothership that was out there, and everyone's saying is from Iran.
yeah.
Well, what I'm listening to is they're all over the state, but um, one of my buddies sent me a link, and it's like to go to like Coast Guard stuff, and apparently like Barnegat, New Jersey, Cape May, New Jersey, where there's a couple of stations, and one up north near Sandy Hook in Jersey. And supposedly these drones were just hovering over top of these installations. um, we watched the news. We were able to get a cast from there. We watched the news, and it's saying, these things are coming in from the ocean. Now, supposedly, they swooped down on some Coast Guard vessel last night, and FBI, sheriff, all of them are involved in it. You know, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist or anything, um, but it sounds like to me it's a foreign government, be it outside the intercoastal waterway where they can't literally like intervene within them, board their ship or anything. And that's not that far. If these things are that big of a drone,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be talking like, why has nobody spotted the vessel? I think, what are they not telling us? You know, like I say, they're not coming in and saying that, hey, this drone is this huge bale of weed on the bottom of it, and they're dropping it 20 miles in shoreland. So my thing is, it's either we have an active threat and our government that's seated for a very short time. You know, I listened to a couple where, yeah, that's a picture. And we were eating breakfast, and the one guy's saying, you know, maybe this is them prepping to attack our country prior to Trump taking office because Biden won't do anything to stop it. You know, how safe are our borders? If they'd allowed all this to go on, you got the war in Ukraine. You know, he knows when Trump steps back into office, it's like it's on with Putin. You know, get yourself back over to your homeland, whatever takes place. But the drones, you know, I kind of view it like they might be foreign intelligence because we let the Chinese spy balloon fly over our country and hover over one of our military installations. And there's thousands of acres of open farmland that thing floated across on its way out to the ocean.